Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is February 3rd. It is Friday, 2023. It's 9:59 a.m. here in the Arizona desert. It's Friday. We're rolling into the weekend. Let's see how things are going. Good day for the market in general. We'll take a look at that. Bitcoin is not responding as negatively to a pumping DXY that I would expect. So let's check out what's going on. As always, BitcoinDailyView.com got more for you there. Definitely. World's changing, crazy events are happening. Get yourself some survival food. I love it. It's fun to have in the closet. Patriot Pantry right there, the affiliate link. Check it out. It's good stuff. And you know what? Today's my birthday. February 3rd, 1970 is when I was born. 2:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm 53 right now. It's kind of cool. I've only gotten more attractive since like 30. So anyway, if it's my birthday and you know me, buy me a coffee right there over at bitcoindailyview.com because it's just cool to see those little coffees rolling. Ding, 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 ding. I just enjoy it. Anyway, let's look at this, okay? 12 billion in Bitcoin trading volume today. That is pretty dang rocket. That's good for a Friday. So very excited to see that. Very, 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 very good trading volume. As a matter of fact, up 17% over the last 24 hours. Looking at the crypto universe in squares here, mostly red, but things are beginning to turn up that were not turning up earlier. Optimism OP is looking darn great. BNB up almost 1%. I like seeing that. So anyhow, we'll take a look at some individual ones here that are moving up before we check out of here. We'll try to get through all this quickly because it's weekend and I know you guys I'll get to your sports balls tournaments and things. So anyway, hey, Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P 500. Dow down 1.94%, not too groovy. I'm sorry, Dow down 0.01%, 0.01%. So Dow, hanging in there. NASDAQ down 0.48, S&P 500 down 0.46. Things kind of opened hot, moved up a bit, but now they're beginning to trail off. If we look at the S&P 500, some of the details here on the heat map, technology's got a little bit of green there. Amazon definitely 4.3% taking a hit today. Don't know why. Tesla up 4.86. I can dig it. Anyway, boom, there you go. Mix of green and red there in the S&P 500. Let's see if it can actually manage to turn green today. And actually, one of the things is with the DXY pumping today, this thing should be wrecked, but it's not. Something has changed in the world. I'm excited to see it. Something good is happening. I like that. So DXY pumping, but the powers of evil, even though they got a big green candle today, they're not crushing the market. So maybe the world is becoming a better place. And you know what? Being a Bitcoin truth seeker, stacking those Bitcoin Satoshi sats is a great way to invest in a wonderful, beautiful future, I think. So stack sats and make the world a better place and enjoy knowing that every Bitcoin Satoshi you own punches a nasty globalist right in the nuts. Okay, so looking at U.S. oil spot, red candle today. Looking at the S&P 500 today, it broke the 314 moving average yesterday. Could not quite hold it. Opened below it today, I do believe, but it's challenging it once again. In spite of the powers of evil, DXY cranking today. You're not knocking down the SPX. You're not destroying the human spirit. The world is becoming a better place in spite of you. Okay, so Bitcoin, it wicked above the 314 moving average yesterday. It opened below it today. It's trying to get above it. We'll see if it challenges it once again. It'd be awesome if it actually could manage that on a weekend. We'll see what happens. Gold getting ass hammered today and yesterday. Silver over here, far right bottom, getting ass hammered. Gold and silver taking the big hit. I don't know why they're responding as you would expect the rest of the market to DXY cranking, but the S&P and of course S&P and Bitcoin being one and the same in some ways, the way the charts look, S&P and Bitcoin not being destroyed by Satan himself having some green wood this morning. So anyway, looking at the market, I have noticed looking at longs versus shorts today. Good deal of shorts been getting wrecked. People really been trying to short hard. I don't know why. It's fine, short, long, whatever. Just have a plan. I think that people were kind of just expecting things to dump today, especially as we went into the weekend. And well, it didn't happen. So there you go. Shorts getting a little bit aggressively wrecked this morning. I found a new chart that shows really longs and shorts. I have to just get it made. I'll get it. I'll do it next time. It's a great chart that shows Bitcoin, then under it longs and shorts, and it shows the amount, and you can really see the rects, and you can see the how things are going. So we'll start looking at that daily. Today, really, other than some shorts getting wrecked when Bitcoin pumped a bit, that's about it. So bit of a short wreck this morning because Bitcoin hasn't plummeted, which I think many expected on Friday. Especially we'd see the we'd see some red candles, and it just hasn't dumped that much. So some shorts unexpectedly got wrecked. All right, looking at Binance, okay, 24 billion in spot trading, not bad at all. I like seeing that. In general, we're all down. We're kind of red across the markets today as far as just volume for spot trading volume on the exchanges, but Bitcoin doing pretty good. Not dumping is good enough for a Friday with a pumping DXY. Looking at derivatives, 52 billion. That's awesome, down 17% last 24 hours, but above 50, good day. Above 60, ravishing day. Above 70 billion, pure Lambo action. Okay, so we're doing pretty darn good today. All right, so let me clear out some of these tabs here. Now, looking at Bitcoin, $23,552 right now. Looking at the top 100, most indecisive, kind of in the red or just straight there, neutral. But Immutable X, whatever it is, IMX is up 11%. Who else is looking good today? Terra Luna Classic, Lun C doing really good. Cranked earlier, beyond belief. Don't know why I just did. So really, let me actually write these down here. Lun C, Immutable X, IMX. Who else did I see over here that was doing good? Somebody, yeah, Optimism, OP. Let's look at those three before we check out. All right, because they're doing good today. Looking at longs versus shorts in the market today. A long is 53%, shorts 46% for Bitcoin on Binance. Okay, there you go. For Ethereum, 51% long, 48% short. So kind of tight there, but in general, a slight long bias for Bitcoin and Ethereum on Binance. Looking at Bitcoin, well, we're sideways, but we're sideways with a slight uptrend. If we do look, you can kind of see you've got, well, call that a low, you got a lower high, kind of blew it here. Then went back to lower high, probably going to see a lower high here. You can definitely see a bit of a very, very slight, this is kind of really to me about a little bit of an upwards channel, I think. We'll just see. It's a 4-hour chart. Bitcoin is definitely holding in there. Are we going to see another move like this? Maybe even over the weekend, where you kind of get this, this pattern, where you kind of see like here's a step, boom, of sideways accumulation. Here's a step of sideways accumulation. To some extent, almost being broken already. Boom. So we're going to see another little pump like that. We'll just see. Really, I think right now we are just living in a time of who knows. When the market's pumping like this, you just don't know what's going to happen. I think that, let me actually clone that. So, we definitely could see a possibility of something like that happening where basically we just do it again, boom. And that would really put us, that's around like 25,000. So could see another step up. Anybody tells they know which one which way the other based on whatever crap snake oil they're selling you, they don't know. We'll see what happens. It's a 4-hour chart looking good. Is it going to be a step up or a step down? This definitely easily could complete in a classic Bitcoin bar pattern and just come right back down like that. Boom. No problem at all. The 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart here is right at 20,476. You could definitely see a move down to there and a bounce back up. That definitely could happen. But in general, the 4-hour chart right now is looking fairly good. I like it. It looks all right. So let's clear this up. Looking at, let's do a 45-minute chart for immediate price action here on Bitcoin. How we looking? You can really see the sideways action right now, but we pumped above the 200 moving average. What was that? I guess yesterday, and we've been slowly cruising down ever since then. But we made a bounce off of it. Squeeze indicators beginning to go towards the positive. The directional index to me is looking like. Is looking all right, kind of seeing the proper direction there. Some nice volume came in just recently to push it off that 200 moving average. So we'll see what happens. Bitcoin doing all right this morning. Let's look at a daily chart. I just want to make sure, yeah, daily chart. Once again, the big deal right now, I think that we're looking at, and I think this is a huge one, is we're either going to like either get smacked down hard, or we're going to be, Lambo land. So basically, Bitcoin, you can see by like the purple candles here by from the candles by Sam indicator, which you can find over at Bitcoin Daily View. It's good. It shows upwards candles, like when the bodies are perfectly stacked. You see they turn purple on the third. So that tends to be a lot of velocity there. So you can see on these daily candles, we just had powerful velocity above the 200 moving average, kind of some nice velocity between the 200 and the 314. Now we're at the 314. This is a big deal. This is a good time to be careful. I myself am actually squeezing out a little bit of my Bitcoin that I've been riding up since the daily cross of the 200 moving average. I'm going to just I'm going to hedge out a little bit, maybe put like a stop limit in or something like that, because we're either going to push above this 200 moving average, and then it's kind of Lambo City, in my opinion, on the daily chart. That's very, very powerful. Or we're going to see a smackdown. And if we smack down, well, maybe we'll ride sideways a little longer, then get above, or maybe go back down to the 200 moving average, maybe go all the way back down to, a previous low, which was, around like, 17,000 or so. I mean, I know some people who just their life will be incomplete. They will end their life, in a frigging like truck stop bathroom with a shotgun if they don't see like 10K again or something, whatever. But we'll see what happens. Logically, Bitcoin's a pretty strong chart right now. The daily is facing a serious moment with the 314. If we get above it, and which of course the white moving average here is 200. The green one here is the 314 daily chart. Big deal. We already wicked above it once. Things tend to wick the direction they want to go. We're either going to break above it, find support, keep going. Lambo land, different world. Or we're going to get smacked down by it, or we're going to ride it sideways for a while, and then we'll see what happens. But in general, these daily indicators are nice and strong. I like what I'm seeing. You can definitely see, like I would mention here, I find you can kind of see here on the DI directional index, that's trending down. Of course, the price is here, as you can see, trending up. That is kind of daily bearish divergence, as many would call it rightly. So that kind of lends to think maybe we'll see the a smackdown here in the 314. Do note that a lot of traders, be they crypto or traditional, do note the 314. It's a little bit esoteric. The 200 is a big deal. Everyone watches that. The 200 moving average, the 200 EMA. 314, a little bit more esoteric, but it is noted. Let's see what happens. We're going to break above Lambo land, or we're not. And then, well, worst case, we kind of plummet, or if not, we just go sideways, or we break above it, Lambo. We're going to see what happens. I know I'm belaboring it, but this really is a big deal. Big deal moment. All right, looking at some stuff here. Optimism on the 4-hour chart has been riding this beautiful upwards channel. Broke above it. Is it going to find support there and keep going? It very, very well could. The ATR cave, as I call it, you can probably see it there. The ATR cave got a little bit of room. We're not quite maxed out, but we are kind of pushing the top there. I don't often actually use them. Let me actually nix this upwards channel, because you can see it. You get the picture. You know what it is. These are Keltner ribbons, or Keltner bands. And so, when you get down to the green, that's when you're kind of in a buy zone. You get up into the red, that's when you're kind of in a sell zone. Keltner. These are wonderful. It's an old indicator. It's pretty darn badass. I definitely, endorse it. I think it's wonderful. But here on the 4-hour chart, optimism, strong squeeze indicator, strong directional index, strong volume coming in, these beautiful volume spikes. But look at that. We are above the top Keltner ribbon. We're pushing the top of that ATR zone with this gray here. And if I was to actually do like this, there's also one called the RSI cave, which is very, very powerful indicator. And as you can see, we're above the top of that. You probably can't see too well, but we're above the top of that. So we are really. Let me actually turn off the ATR zone, and you can probably see that a little bit better, the RSI cave. So I mean, really, we are, in my opinion, we're pushing a little hard here. So optimism, is it going to make the top of that channel? It's new support. Maybe, but we'll probably see some sideways action after that unless it really pushes hard. But anyway, beautiful chart, looking really, really great. I love what I'm seeing. I really think I'm probably gonna. I mean, Optimism is doing so well recently. You can kind of do a little bit of a fib sequence here. Let's just go way back to there, to a fib sequence. And I'm gonna kind of watch this one. It would not surprise me if it actually came back down to like the 382 here, which is the top of which is like the top Keltner. Definitely could see that happening. The 200 moving average is right here in the 618 golden pocket. You could see a .5 retrace. That's some kind of previous support and resistance for it. So, let's see what happens. Say things are doing great. I love this one. Optimism is looking great. Probably top of its run. Expect some kind of a retrace before it continues, unless it just gives it all back. But anyway, Optimism is looking great. Love what I'm seeing here. Now, along with that, let's check some other ones out here. LUNC, USDT. Look on Binance where the volume is. Yeah, using the Keltner bands once again. And the kind of groovy looking, looks like something like I would love to have my wall painted like that, like kind of 70s colors. Isn't that cool? I love them. Keltners are very, very cool. So 4 hour, as you can see, we blasted way above the Keltner zone. We're coming back down to it though, but you can see what happens when you break above that Keltner. You're usually gonna come back down. You're not gonna. That's kind of going through the roof. But look at that this morning. Crazy, crazy, crazy volume came in. Directional index is looking good. ADX is kind of low. Squeeze indicator looks pretty darn good. But LUNC versus USDT, that thing is cranked hard. Came off the 200 moving average, blasted to the Keltner, moved up, come back. What are we going to see here? It's a very interesting moment. 4 hour chart here. Let's actually nix these Keltners here. Let me actually go back to my there you go, preferred looking stuff here. Can you even make sense of this? It's really not an upwards channel in the 4 hour, this is 45-minute chart. So let's look at the 4 hour chart. 4 hour chart, is there kind of an upwards channel going on here? Yeah. Let's do like this. Be a little bit creative. I know. Well, there you go. Definitely top of that channel. Definitely top of that channel. So it's coming back down to the mid-range. Let's see what happens. My little dog's got a cough. She's not dying. Just chihuahuas, when they get old, their trachea gets weak and they cough. And she's an old chihuahua. So anyhow, I'm gonna give this one a retrace. And see what happens. It very well may continue up, but right now that thing's been pushing pretty hard. Definitely touched the top of the ATR zone. If I was to do a little fib sequence right there on this pump, maybe we're doing a .5 bounce. We'll see what happens. Sorry about the little dog noises back there. It sounds terrible, but it's really not a big deal. Anyway, there you go. Looking great. That's a lot of push. I'm gonna let this thing retrace. I mean, look at that volume that came in. What is going on with that? Whew. I don't know. I'm not quite ready to get in on this one. That's just too much extravagance right now. But you know what though? It did wick down from the 4 hour chart to the 8 moving average. That's not bad. Let's look at a hourly chart. Yeah, hourly chart is down below. It went above, then below. Now it's back to the 8 moving average. How's the hourly chart look? Not bad. I don't know. It's just too pumped out right now. I'm gonna give it some time. But really, if I was crazy, I'd almost get in on this one. Let me just go to the beginning of this candle here where it started to pump, do a fib sequence. Where are we bouncing here? It's kind of a .5 bounce there. Whew. Trade at your own risk, y'all. Find your own time frames, the way you do things. The 45-minute chart came down like that .5 bounce. It is beginning to decrease. You can see here on the directional index, this guy is starting to chill a little bit. We can see that. Boom. You can see volume. It had volume, of course, but that's starting to trend down. Directional squeeze indicator is beginning to chill out. I'm just going to give it a bit. I don't know. I mean, gosh, if I wanted to be nuts, go out there. It's top of the channel though. I don't know. It's just too pumped out right now. But if I was nuts, I would actually do an entry like right about now, and I just put a stop at the bottom of this .5 fib sequence around like 19042, and just see what happens. That thing might ride it. You know what I mean? It's hard to play something when it's this pumped out. I'll tell you what though, if I'd been in this and it ran like that, I wouldn't be selling it. I just put a stop in at the 618, probably around like 18558. In fact, that's kind of a play too. Get in now and put a stop in at the bottom of the 618 golden pocket around 18427. And see how it goes. Definitely could keep running. It's just pushing hard. Anyway, that's up. I'm sorry, Luncy. That's Luncy. And you can actually see if you look where it bounced. If I nix all this nonsense, you can see where it bounced. It went up, hit the top of the ATR zone, got out of it, and then came back down into it. And actually, what if I fire up? It's a 45-minute chart, but let's look at a 4-hour chart. Let's fire up those Keltners once again. Yeah, you can see it's it's way above. It wouldn't surprise me actually looking at this if it came back, looking at what it's done before. If it came back to the bottom of that Keltner, because you can see where it's done that before. So like, gosh, I could put like an order in like around like 178.6, like 178.50 or something like that. Let it get, wouldn't surprise me. And where would that actually be if we were to look at that with, take a look at this now. Let's just kind of do a fib sequence. I'm going to grab it like here, see if that matches up. What would that be? Yeah, right there, bottom of the Keltner is right around like the 618 golden pocket, around 18045. The bottom, that's like 17887. So really not bad. What if I was to like move this up here to where it started running? How about here? Yeah, if you go right to the top of this candle where it started pumping after it had given a little bit back, the 786 is there. So anyway, there's just a lot to be seen here. Sorry if I'm just belaboring things too much, but still, definitely if this thing gets back into the bottom of that Keltner zone, then starts moving up, that might be an interesting play. Anyway, guys, what can you say? It can come all the way back down to the 4-hour 200 moving average and then start moving around like 16956. I could see it coming all the way back, doing a 200 moving average bounce and continuing. Anyway, we'll see what happens. I love the way Keltners look. Aren't they just the grooviest friggin' thing? I love them. They're cool. And so let's look at optimism. OP. That was Luncy. That looked like. Oh, sorry, I'm all over the place here. Let's see. I think we already looked at optimism, didn't we? Optimism, yeah, way too cracked. IMX, mutable X, right? UST. IMX, yeah. You know what? I won't even bother charting this one. This is honestly about the same thing that optimism is doing. You can really kind of see it. Beautiful 4-hour upwards channel, just groovy. It broke above the top. It's at the top of the ATR zone there. I'm sure, and you can see it's way above the friggin' Keltner. That's overpumped. That thing's coming down, Anyway, and so maybe really a good play actually is wait for it. If it's going to continue up, which would not surprise me, wait till it gets back under that Keltner zone. Wait till it comes back down to reality, And if I was to look at this one's kind of easy one to fib on. Let's just grab the bottom of this, go to the top of that, and and what are we looking at here? We are looking at 618 golden pocket right there as we get back at the bottom of that Keltner zone. Yeah, that'd be a spot to start considering. Anyway, guys, and gals, there you go. What else is interesting that might be rocking today as far as this stuff? Has anything else started moving today? Let's take a look here. Mutable X, GMX Osmosis, Polkadot. Nothing really else of note. Let me actually look at my little favorites here that I've been kind of watching for a while here. But yeah, I was checking out this, man. SHOT Show. 5 new 1911 pistols 2023. There's some cool looking stuff out there. Let me fire up. Let me clean this out. Go back to my defaults. Let's just go to a 4-hour. Clear stuff out here. Let me look at my one of my lists here, my little Cayenne list of things that I'm watching that are doing pretty good. Ren looking great today. You know, it's in the same spot as Ren is just getting going, looking good, big volume. You know, it's top of the ATR zone there. Will it find support top of the channel? You know, it's got to do it before we really know what to do with it. You know, Luncy coming back down, Bit, USDT looking good. I like this one. This one's not so overextended. It broke below this upwards channel that I had a while ago. Came out of the 200 moving average, almost wicked at the 314. Now it's moving up again. Definitely a bit USDT here in the 4-hour chart. One to watch. This one probably could have a nice continuation and keep going. It's kind of just getting started, maybe. So I'm gonna that's one to watch. Not too excited by the chart, but let's look at a 45-minute, right? An hourly. Let's look at an hourly one of Bit. Oh, and the hourly, this one's just getting started. Bit's one to watch. Play it by your own rules, your own way. I'm looking at this on Coinbase. Wild. Where can you play Bit USDT? Coinbase, Gate.io. Oh, it's definitely a weird one. Okay, you're a weird one. I'm not even sure what Bit is, but if you're on Gate.io or Coinbase, which would mean pro.coinbase too. Oh, Bybit's got it. How's it looking on? That's a perpetual contract though. Bybit. Anyway, guys, this is one to watch. Gate.io, interesting. Okay, keep an eye on this one. This one definitely could be getting it's directional index is going in the right spot. I'm sorry, directional index is in the right spot. Not seeing a tremendous amount of volume, you know, so that's not really moving me. But in general, it's cruising up. Squeeze indicators in the right spot. Directional index is in the right spot. ADX is in the right spot. This guy could just continue, just kind of cruising. You can almost sort of like, you know, do a kind of a channel like that and just be like, well, if you wanted to count that, it's just totally crazy now, isn't it? You know, but one to watch. Not overly excited by it, but Bit versus USDT, maybe a player. Kava, I like Kava, and Kava is kind of exciting. So directional index is in the right spot. ADX is moving up. I'd watch the squeeze indicator start going positive again. It's got a nice fill out of its long time channel here. It kind of dumped out of its channel. It's trying to get back in. It kind of touched it yesterday. 4-hour chart. I want to see that as ADX pick up a little bit, but in general, like what's my ADX tuning here? Bonk. Yeah, 1425. That's the default. I'm gonna watch this one. I'm definitely gonna watch this one. It's definitely possible. I like Kava. Tends to make nice moves. Let's just see. Right now, it's almost good to go. I think this one will probably just continue rocking up from here. 4-hour chart looks pretty darn good. Let's go to a 45-minute chart and see immediate price action. Yeah, it's doing all right. It's got a lot going for it. You know, beginning to turn up there on the squeeze. Directional index. ADX is still just a little bit low. It's weekend. You know, watch out. The volatility is not that great. One thing is we have. Look at this here. You got your low. You kind of say like a lower high, like lower highs, lower high, but you kind of have a low, a high, low. I mean a high, and you kind of have a higher high, but you really haven't gotten that new higher high. That new higher high would have to be up here in the channel and then kind of test and come back. So, you know, it's weekend. I'm not that incredibly excited about Kava, but could be a play. SNX, oh, it's looking nice. Strong break above, came back, moving back up. It bounced on previous support and resistance. Squeeze indicators looking good. Directional index and ADX not that hot. You know, yeah, you do have an issue here of a high, lower high, lower high. So that one's probably not going anywhere. ETC versus USDT. Not too exciting. I won't. This one's exciting, kind of. ELF versus BTC. Let me actually take that back. It's not too exciting. Forget that one. Ruin versus USDT. Oh, this one's kind of exciting to me. So you've got, if I go to a 4-hour chart here, you can see where Ruin was running up, kind of made the top of this channel as support. Yeah, it's been cruising along. It's kind of kept in there. There we go. You can just kind of nix the sold channel, but I just keep it for reference. Look at that. Squeeze indicators beginning to turn positive pretty soon. ADX is still trending down. It's kind of an issue we're seeing everywhere. And ultimately, the directional index is green, but it is trending down also. It's weekend, you're just not seeing a lot of volume out there right now. So with that said, maybe there's some plays out there, is there anything over here on this? This is a secret list here. I'm kind of hiding who all's on here from because it's kind of a blockchain education thing. These are all versus BTC. So AGIX versus BTC might make a new high. That one's kind of interesting. That one's starting to move. ILV versus BTC. Woo! Rocket ship to Pluto. Definitely some coins making moves against Bitcoin. Harmony, like one. This is a great one. This is nice. I like this channel here. So if we're to take this and go, here's a 4-hour chart, upwards channel, looking good. It broke above top of the ATR. That's a problem. This is a big pump this morning, but I just don't see these guys keeping that up. And if they do, they're going to come back down and test top of this channel before we really can be sure that's going to be the new support. So pump day, a lot of nice moves in the market. Let's see if it's turnaround time. If you do trade this weekend, definitely keep those stops tight because, eventually this is I think we're going to see a bit of a retrace happen. And where I kind of see that is if we truly do see honest to goodness rejection off the 314 for Bitcoin and it plummets a couple percent, then all those alts are going potty. So trade carefully, my friends, trade carefully. Bitcoin is sideways today. It's looking good. It's above the 200 moving average, even though it recently wicked below it. Squeeze indicators looking good. Directional index looks good. ADX is kind of going down, but that's fine. Nice little bit of volume came in today on the 45-minute chart here. You can see the longer we stay above the 200 moving average and we kind of, especially if we get some space from it, as you can see on the 45-minute chart, if we keep this upwards momentum here, these lower highs keep adding up and we can stay above that 200 moving average. That's going to give a lot of alts the ability to just lose their friggin' minds and pump. As you can see, they've already been doing it. So, there's an uptrend. As you can see, lower highs cranking up there on the 4-hour chart. Directional index looks good. It is trending down a little bit. Anyway, guys, I'm just babbling at this point. Take care, everybody. Remember, for every Bitcoin Satoshi you own, a piece of shit globalist, it just punches them right in the nuts. That's a beautiful thing. And really, it's a great day. It's a great weekend. It's a Friday. I'm really happy just to see Bitcoin hold up against a pumping DXY, and also the fact that the do we have it here? I think I already closed that chart, didn't I? I'm really happy to see Bitcoin holding against a pumping DXY. Gold and silver getting hammered, but S&P 500 and Bitcoin are holding strong against a pumping DXY. That is a really, really, really interesting moment. So let's see what happens. This is a big deal. And remember that 314, put an alert in for that daily chart and see, because if we can actually get above that and stay above that, then that's going to be exciting for Bitcoin. That's going to be Lambo City if that happens. All right. I rambled enough, and take care, and I will see you again tomorrow.